Hello and welcome. I'm Holly Shields for Kalkine Media, and this is another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks. In this edition, we'll be narrowing in on HeadChannel Consulting, the experts in developing business-oriented solutions. And the best way to do that is to sit down with the Commercial Director, Beata Green. Beata, thanks very much for joining me today.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be here with you today. And as you mentioned, we have lots of experience in recruiting, motivating, and training our software teams. So I'm really delighted to be able to share this experience with you today. You probably all know that, but new tech is released at an astonishing rate, and really today tech skills present a real challenge. So half of technology companies believe a shortage of engineers poses a direct threat to their business. So many clients tell us that they're losing their developers to the fintech industry, Facebook and Google, and other large corporations. These large companies offer them triple or double their salaries, and the small companies worry that they won't be able to maintain their digital innovation going forward, and this will stall their innovation altogether. So it is a problem for small businesses, and it's just a question how they can react to this issue, which is currently they're facing. So inability to really recruit good developers, good business analysts, and good technical architects.
It's a challenge, right? I can imagine, absolutely. But you're somehow able to mitigate that issue and to hire great talent without paying over the odds.
So yeah, that's absolutely a spot-on question that is being asked. We face this issue all the time, and I think what I could recommend from our experience are mainly four things. So the companies have to think about loosening up their hiring criteria. So the talent shortage is unavoidable, specifically currently now with the war in Ukraine, where so many developers have been displaced. So what the companies have to do is to really think how to break these traditional boundaries. And one of the things which they can do is to hire from overseas. So thinking about this, how to get the best talent, they sort of must break free from the old limitations and seek these best candidates regardless of their physical location. And I have no doubt that if they do it consistently, then they should see that the number of their potential candidates will increase. Unfortunately, this brings its own challenges because to embrace the remote work requires certain skills. Mm-hmm. So hiring remote workers has only recently emerged as a realistic option. So some companies never employed from remote talent. They don't really know even how to do it. They worry about whether the setup will work for them. And we have clients calling us and saying, look, I really want to employ from abroad, but I really don't know how to do it. I've never done that before. The company is very traditional. So it is an issue which they have to resolve. And it is easy for them if they have strong software development process and strong internal onboarding process, but believe it or not, some companies just don't do that. So admittedly, if they get someone from abroad and working remotely, unless they can onboard them, unless they can embed them in their process, it's going to be really, really difficult. But my key suggestion is to loosen your hiring criteria, try to hire from abroad, and your pool of talent will increase. Look at your processes and see whether you are able to adapt them to embed these remote workers. The other options which companies have is to focus on training. And I think, admittedly, there is so much young talent out there, and we can see this. When we put the advert for the developers, if we are looking for seniors, they're very hard to come. However, if we are looking for juniors, we do get very good quality candidates. So another option is to engage these less skilled candidates on their terms and put real effort into talent nurturing, career building, incentivize them in any way you can. Obviously, you have to have a good onboarding program with adequate training and mentoring. But the good thing is that this nurturing these young candidates can really improve employee retention. And some statistics even say that it's by 80%. We have discovered some real stars doing this way, and some of them even remained faithful to us through the last few years. Another thing to look when you're employing less skilled people is to look for their attitude. So you have to really check how eager they are to learn, how well they respect values such as integrity, honesty, and communication. You have to bear in mind that they probably will be learning remotely. So how well they communicate, how well they adjust to your own values is really very important question to ask. And then that's what you have to look into in your interviewing process. You have to check for these values, and you have to be able to evaluate whether they have the skills or not.
Absolutely. I think that's really important, as you mentioned. And I think it's very critical when you are looking at this a large pool of young talent, that they do have what it takes to potentially really reveal those skills in their work. So that's a very important point there. And as well, the point you made about global talent and global talent acquisition. It's a tricky thing. I can imagine a tricky thing, but it does have its own ways of ironing itself out if traditional companies are willing to take that step and look at foreign workers. So that's very important there as well. And what are some of the tools and techniques that your team follows at HeadChannel to help those SMEs?
So yes, absolutely. It's another good question. So what we really have built is the ecosystem of tested and verified developers. And this is important to say because large companies have resources, and obviously they have so much more money to be able to entice these developers to come and join them. And SMEs don't necessarily are able to do it. So what we can offer them is the ecosystem of these verified developers that are based in Central European countries. So we find people for our clients that have good skills, the right attitude, but what's very important, they also at the right price. So while they're probably not cheap, our clients don't have to pay at odds for them. So we can put these teams together, but also what we offer is end-to-end software development guidance and process, which again, so many SMEs are struggling with. And we can see day in and out. So we also, on the top of it, offer our clients flexible engagement models. So from hiring an individual to hiring the whole team to deliver their innovation. So if I was to summarize it in one sentence, we simply make their software development process easy. And that's a challenge for a lot of SMEs.
I don't doubt that. It does sound like a challenge. And how is it that you're able to make it not only easy, but reliable, scalable, secure, and also affordable, and all the other metrics that really matter for these businesses?
It's not easy at all. And so we start, the process is very important here. We start with a robust and scalable designs, so to ensure that we sort of maximize the benefits to the potential of the system and ensure that system is the future-proof. To achieve a good design, which is so important nowadays because so many people are using any applications and systems, we implement a modular domain-driven design, and this really ensures that we build software using components, and these components are independent from each other, so they build as modules. So any changes or upgrades are done easily. And we work with users iteratively through wireframes and mockups, so that brings the system to life and helps us to deliver user journeys. So that's really in three snapshots how we can make sure that our systems that we build are reliable, scalable, and secure.
That is really important stuff. And it does seem like that system has been successful for you thus far. So that is great to see. Now, Beata, I'd love to know as well, in the current business climate, what's working and what's not working when it comes to recruiting new members of a team?
So the key important things, and I can't stress enough, is to offer people flexible work, and specifically IT, when the supply of specialists is so limited, and it's so difficult right now to find the right people. So what they really value is that flexibility to be able to work when it suits them, to be able to work from home, to pick up their kids from school, to maybe do 2 jobs at the same time. And it doesn't matter. As long as they deliver for you, that should be fine. And what they also value is training. It's the career progression. They really get bored very, very easily. So you need to be able to ensure that they move from project to project, then they develop their skills and they continuously move forward. And that you create that community around them, that they are able to share that knowledge amongst themselves. So what's working is looking after your people, offering them freedom to make their own decisions, looking after their training, clearly define their roles and objectives. So that would be my summary.
Some really great pointers there, and I can imagine that is something that's always crucial and timeless, really, when it comes to making a good team there, offering them all those benefits, especially outlining clear objectives for them, and flexibility in today's day and age. That is super important. More people are working from home than ever before, so that is really crucial to be able to offer that. Now, speaking of moving forward, I'd love to know what we can look forward to seeing from HeadChannel for the remainder of 2022 and beyond.
What we want to really do is to expand on skills which we already have. So we already have a strong network of technology skills on our books. We've developed projects for so many famous, large, well-known clients, specifically here in the UK. So we are perfectly positioned to offer our talent and to offer our process to new clients. So what we're thinking of doing is, in the near future, we are planning to build a platform that provides SMEs with talent sourcing capabilities, but also a structured framework using a decision support tool to offer step-by-step guidance and advice at every stage of the process, software development process, I mean. So from business and functional requirements documentation through project plan preparation, risk identification, project monitoring, DevOps reporting, so you name it, because so many SMEs just don't know how to deliver their software, and obviously on top of it, they struggle to find talent.
Right, absolutely. But it sounds like that'll be really be something to see, and will really advance the work that you're doing. So we definitely look forward to seeing that. And it does sound like you have a big year ahead of you. So we'll definitely keep an eye on everything from HeadChannel in the upcoming year and beyond. But with that said, thanks very much for making time for us today, Beata. It's been really great to have you here on Executive Corner Expert Talks.
It's been an absolute pleasure to be here today and share our plans.
Pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for your time as well, viewers. If you've just joined us, that was Beata Green, the Commercial Director of HeadChannel Consulting. And if you missed any part of that chat, you can catch the full interview here on our YouTube channel at Kalkine Media, and make sure to subscribe. I'm Holly Shields for Kalkine Media.